Hi, my name's Phil. I'm talking about politics, and this video really is for subscribers because we've hit another milestone, 80,000 subscribers. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about something that made me want to do this video in about 9 or 10 days time. And you'll see why. Because what I like to do in these sort of things is first of all, thank the several thousand who've allowed this milestone to occur, as well as the previous 75,000 who stay subscribed, or net total of. And we're getting there now. It's like, it's fairly meaningless in some ways, but you get to this point now, and it's the first time you really sort of think properly. This year, very good chance of hitting 100,000 subscribers, which is not, you know, in the grand scheme of things, the key interest. The key thing really is views in terms of how well the channel is doing. But subscribers are nice because these are people that have said, you're not a complete idiot, I'd like to listen to you again at some point, so I shall subscribe. And or maybe you are a complete idiot but you're entertaining. I don't know. I don't really think I'm that entertaining, but potentially exciting news coming. Unfortunately, it's not like overnight type thing. Now, some will know that so I moved last year, really hastened by the pandemic, but I've moved, and I'm sort of stuck in a conservatory, and everything's really close in on me, and I'm using the green screen again today because the natural light is sort of okay for using it. I've never been able to set up my other lights to be able to, because I need to illuminate the green screen and illuminate me and do it all separately and not have shadows or anything like that. And I've not been able to do it because I'm far too close. The green screen is literally just behind me. Now, I have managed that in the past with the green screen behind me, but the light, I just can't get the light in. So what I really needed is a different space. Now, some months ago, my partner suggested we get a garden room. So that's what we did. Now, because of the pandemic, lots of people are getting these. So it's taken a very long time. On the website of this company we've got it from, it says it's normally about 2 months that you have to wait. Well, this has been 4 months, but it's nearly here. A week tomorrow, they are arriving to assemble it. Now, from there, it's not like just move in and set up. I'll show you behind me, hopefully, if I remember as I'm going through this, is an image from their website of what it will look like inside. And I've also mocked up something on a 3D CAD program to sort of show you how I'm going to have it set up sort of as well. It's for different purposes, all for recording purposes. It's going to be a studio for different things. And the hope, and so the timeline is, and this is why you could see why I'd wanted to do this video ideally in about 9 days time. So on the 1st of Feb it arrives. So it would have been nice to have done this video from within it and showing it develop. But maybe that would be for 85,000 at some point, but that could be some time away. Then I've got some furniture for it arriving, like, you know, racks and a cabinet really, for the next day. But there'll be no electricity in there. The electricity doesn't get hooked up until the following week, and quite far into the following week. So it's another couple of, well, from where we are now, it's like nearly 3 weeks before it will have electricity. But I'll be, in the meantime, working on getting everything there set up. Now, what I'm hoping is, at that point, I should be able to set up a green screen that's a few feet behind me, can be illuminated separately, can illuminate myself. Again, I'll still have things to work out, but I was able to get it set up like that in my previous place. And summer 2019, I remember. That sort of worked. I was okay with that. I also at the time recorded with the camcorder, which is what I've been doing recently. Not at the moment. This is a webcam to use with the green screen now. There's another thing that someone sort of... I haven't had loads of comments about this, so I've thought, oh, it's not too bad now. So some people may have noticed. All sorts of things have been... Ever since I moved in here, I've been fighting a losing battle against the technology. I'm not saying that I will suddenly win that battle with the studio, but I hope I will get better with it. So at the moment I'm speaking through my Rode microphone, because that's just going through the program I'm recording on this with the webcam. But what I've been doing more recently with than the normal videos is using a lapel mic connected directly to the camcorder. Now there is a reason for this. Now I think it sounds okay. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. I have tried playing with the settings. I don't have an immediate idea at the moment, but maybe things will emerge. But the reason I'm not spending too much time on that right now, apart from the fact that I'm struggling for time, is in the studio, different acoustics, it may suddenly be a lot better anyway. I don't know. I also don't know whether I'd use this one or the wireless one, but we'll try different things. But the reason why I've done that is because when I go into there, I will be using the camcorder. I can't be using the microphone I've got attached to my computer because my computer's staying here. So I'm going to be switching to a lapel microphone anyway, might as well get used to it. And it's also good not having to knit up audio and video anyway. It doesn't take ages, and I don't have to do the clappy hands things anymore because the video editing program I realised can synchronise it for you, and it does it very well. But it's still messing. It's 2 files when I could just have one. But the important thing is I would like to get back up to the point where, you know, I have the green screen available. So because I prefer the design aspect, I prefer the way I can do things with that. And so yeah, that's what's coming, but it will take time to emerge because, like I said, next week the thing is arriving. That's when I want to jam things in and start moving things across. So I'd still be carrying on doing my videos in the normal way over next week, even though that'll be there. The following week, again, it's much the same thing. I'll just be trying to tidy things. There's a lot of work to do in moving things across from here over there because everything I've got is just crammed into here, pretty much, all most things. And electricity doesn't appear until like the 3rd, oh, when is that? Something like the 9th of February before I even get electricity hooked up. After which then there'll be a certain level of experimentation needed to get the lighting and the sound right, or right enough. And there's other things I want to introduce in that as well. So, you know, it could still take a bit, but one other piece of good news really is, again, some may know, obviously the schedule went down a little bit because the college where I do like a little bit of teaching, I just do one class, so it's like 2 half days a week, needed me to cover someone. So I'm basically teaching full timetable at the moment whilst doing this. It's rammed. But it was just until they could try and get someone else to do that cover. So they're interviewing for that next week. Hopefully they'll get someone, and hopefully so that's the thing. There's all sorts of unknowns here. First of all, we don't know that any of them will be suitable. Hopefully they are. I don't know how soon they can start. If they can start straight away, that's absolutely brilliant, because then that gives me the time. I wouldn't necessarily go straight back up to the normal schedule then. I'd actually use that time, because you get away with it at the moment. The way YouTube works, very seasonal. This time of year is the time to experiment. You don't get as much money on YouTube at this time of year. It's still fine. I'm getting loads of views at the end of the day, but January is like, it drops because it's to do with advertising revenue. People are advertising as it comes up to like Thanksgiving stuff, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Christmas, all that hoo-ha, and then it drops off a cliff in January. They've spent their advertising budget and you know, before then. So now is the time to experiment. So I would use that time to try and set up the studio properly, at which time I'll sort of reflect then. But yeah, we're talking probably the whole of February before I'm really fully up to speed and using the studio how I envisage being able to use it, because there's bound to be a few pitfalls. But as I say, it would also be in conjunction with that, because otherwise I'd be waiting until half term before I could spend a decent amount of time setting things up, because I'm too busy at the moment. But if I can also rein back from the teaching, that will help immensely. That will help immensely. So there's where we are. Sometimes, you know, when I talk about what's coming up on the channel, it's like, well, sometimes there has been things I've been trying out, and sometimes this is probably the biggest revolution potentially about to happen with the channel, and hopefully it will work, and hopefully I'll be able to get settled onto the sort of design style that I would like, in a way that doesn't take lots of extra time in terms of setting up, because I'll be recording in a different place to editing and all the rest of it. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But as I say, you may not see the fruits of that for another few weeks, maybe not even until the end of February. But there we are. Thanks very much for continuing to support the channel. If anyone does have any ideas, then of course throw them below. I always encourage people to do that. Don't be disappointed if at the end of the day I say no, because it may be that you're right. Sometimes people have suggested something in the past and I've gone, no, I don't think so. And then I've changed my mind later. Quite a lot of the time it may just be down to practical constraints or just the fact that I don't have the level of skill required to put it into place. But anyway, there we go. Thanks very much. And until next time, I'll see you later.